hijacked the conversation.
Me.
It's the Ball Studio NFL Podcast. And now it's on. It's the Ball Studio NFL Podcast. Get ready! It's the Ball Studio NFL Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Vault Studio NFL Podcast Super Bowl preview show. The day is almost here, 4 days off. I'm JA. I'm joined by the Persian Prince, Spanakopter himself.
Super Bowl time,
on the
baby.
couch,
There it
and
is.
joined by
Ladies.
Quadzilla over there, Scotty MC.
Yep.
Was that a call? That doesn't feel right.
You can
And
call me whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit.
Hey, just still feels right, man.
Yeah.
It still feels right.
I always do. And that's how I get in trouble. And obviously, we've got big Tommy A on the ones and twos doing God's work. What's
going on, boys?
How are you,
Pre-show,
Tommy?
he was putting in some. We were
Oh, yeah.
talking absolute nonsense, and he was putting in proper work.
Now-
Shout out to you, Tom.
Thanks.
Let's quickly mention our sponsors, the Sporting Globe Churnside Park. QR code on the screen. If you haven't got Super Bowl tickets, there is some left, but they're almost gone.
If you haven't got, what are you doing with your life? Buy some tickets, get down there so we can enjoy the day. It's going to be an unreal day. We're going to be there from early on. We're going to be there from 8 o'clock. Get down there ASAP. They're serving drinks from 8 a.m.
It's the Vault Studio's first game day vlog. It'll be.
We're vlogging. We're interviewing. We've got QB challenges. We've got,
You're going to be sick of us by the end.
No. You can't get, I mean, maybe they'll be sick of me. That for sure.
I'm sick of you now.
Yeah, fair. Very fair. We've known each other 15 years. Best part of 2 decades. I'm not surprised it took that long, actually. Yeah, get down there. What are you doing?
He's a
What are you
very
doing?
tolerable person.
What are you doing with your life? Come on, get some tickets and get down
That's
there.
how I
Seriously.
would describe on my gravestone. It should say very
Tolerable.
tolerable.
Yeah.
Um,
Can't decide anything. Sit on the fence. Tolerable.
Yes, correct. So yeah, get your tickets. Social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Give us a follow. Get us on YouTube. We're getting so close to our goal. Please, if you watch on YouTube, even if you don't watch on YouTube,
Oh,
if you
I'm
have
haranguing
YouTube,
everyone on the day
Yeah.
to sign up to
Oh,
all the
and
socials.
Also on YouTube, we're going to have something special coming up. So if you're subscribed to our YouTube channel after Super Bowl day,
Are we?
yeah,
Yep.
you can win a prize if you're going to be subscribed to our YouTube.
Well,
That
we
is if you're already subscribed.
we can
plus
actually
new
say what it is. I
subscribers.
haven't announced what we'll be doing, but we'll be giving away on the day. There will be pamphlets on the table with our QR code.
Oh,
If you scan the QR code and subscribe to our YouTube or our Instagram, if you don't have YouTube, you can do Instagram. Both get you 2 entries. One gets you only one, obviously, and we'll give away a signed mini helmet for anyone. That's all you have to do.
it.
Scan the QR code, subscribe to either Instagram or YouTube. You do both, you get 2 entries. You do one, you get 1 entry.
Takes you 2 seconds. You can win
Simple as that.
you can win a signed helmet for God's sake.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to do.
Sick.
Now, before we get started, Tommy, I need you to take your headset off.
Oh,
I need you to slide your chair out and come and sit in my spot.
wait,
okay?
wait. What's happening?
All right, you boys are going to do some talking. Now, obviously,
Oh,
Tommy.
I don't know what to say.
Tommy does some God's work for this podcast and
Does he
a
ever?
lot of stuff off screen. So we thought we'd get him a little gift. So come and sit down here.
He's I'm just going to say this off the top.
Is the
he's
stripper ready?
Elevated. Well, I voted for the escort, which you guys both shot me down for what it's worth. You both shot me down. He's definitely elevated the professionalism of this podcast.
Yes.
And as a result, the 3 of us got together, mainly James. I did nothing for the what's worth.
Yes.
I actually did nothing. And we've all decided to sling some coin together and get you a little present as a thank you.
Awesome.
It's a signed Baltimore helmet.
Ed Reed.
Ed Reed.
My
One of the
favorite Ravens
one of the
player.
Yeah.
greatest Ravens
Oh my
ever,
God.
and one of the greatest players ever in the NFL.
It's just
That's
a
awesome.
just a symbol of our appreciation to the hard work and all the stuff and you driving the podcast. That's all the stuff that no one ever sees, and the messages that you send that make us think about content and stuff like that.
Make us better. It's
and
simple
make
as that.
I'm not going to
100%
lie.
pushes
Getting
us to make it
getting a
better.
gift makes the being on the chat more very worthwhile. 'cause-
Yeah, as I said to you pre-show, every so often I'm just going to throw in a sorry, Tom, because he's subjected to a lot in there.
That's so awesome.
Definitely.
No birds.
We definitely push the boundaries today.
Thank you, guys. I
You're
love
welcome, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, well earned, well deserved.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful looking helmet too. Shout out to Ed Reed. He's a really good football player.
Absolute stud. Absolute stud football player.
Yeah, we just wanted to. That's right. I didn't have a mic for that. So yeah, thank you very much, Tom. It goes.
Thank you, guys.
We
You're welcome, my boy.
Really do appreciate what you do for
well
us, mate.
deserved.
Absolutely.
So unreal. It's like obviously we would love to live in a world where this podcast makes a shit ton of money and we could just pay you to do this full time and do an awesome job. But you do an awesome job anyway. So I wanted to get you a nice
Thank you,
present
guys.
to remember.
Appreciate it.
Put that in your little office at home.
I will.
And then next time you're
That's going to take a pride of place, I reckon.
yeah, next time you're on the line doing the podcast, you can
I'll wear it.
behind.
Put that in a position of prominence so we can see it on the
It'll be going
on the
high
video.
because I have 3 kids that'll I'll
was
come
just about
home
to
and
say.
they'll be running, doing
There's going to be some kid artwork. that's
Doing
just
some
pushed
drills.
aside, and then there's going to be a helmet put there now.
if you want some old like actual football helmets to do that in, I've got plenty. You
And can we
Yeah.
plug the bloke that we got the helmet from?
Yeah, our boy Brocky Wellington.
Yes.
He's
Oh,
a-
thank you, Brock.
He's a sick
Shout out to
collector,
Brock.
and he did a pretty good deal for us. So shout out to Brocky.
Yep.
We'll see him Monday at Super Bowl.
we
I'm
will.
sure.
Shout out,
Cool.
Rocky.
He'll be needing subtitles by about 11 a.m. if we go off past experience.
Is it strange that even though English is my second language, I understand everything that Brock says perfectly all the time?
It's because you speak.
That's because you both speak English as your
Mm.
second language.
Very fair.
And Brock doesn't know any other languages. We
Hey,
should do
hey,
that. Love.
shout out to Brock. I
No,
love
no,
Brock.
no. Shout out.
Shout
Yeah.
out to you, Brocky.
All right, well, let's get into the big game.
Let's do it.
Obviously,
This is the game.
yes, Seattle and the New England Patriots at Levi Stadium in San
George's
Francisco.
Seahawks.
George's Seahawks. Your
He's
Seahawks.
big fan, George.
Oh, I don't start this there. Don't start this shit there. All right.
As I said to you pre-show, and I'll say it on the show too, I actually could not care less who wins this game because, as I said, it's between two franchises that, one, nobody cares about other than their supporters, and B, a team that everybody hates except their supporters. So I could not care less who wins.
I just want a good game, but
I think
Also-
I think we're going to get a good game.
as I've said once, and I'll say it again, that I've written a lot of checks that I now need the Seattle Seahawks to cash. So
I think you're in good
Have you
hands.
ever?
if people want unbiased opinion from me, it's not happening. All right. I have put my cards on the table for Seattle, and we have to go with it. So we thought what we'd do is there's some betting stuff we'll do a bit later. We've got some topics to go over as we go on, but what we wanted to look at the game is start with each side of the team. So Seattle's offense versus the Patriots defense, and then we'll do Patriots defenses versus the Seattle offense. I think start with Patriots offense versus the Seattle defense is a good place to start because
Yep.
I personally think this is probably the biggest discrepancy in the game. Now,
Yeah.
don't let you look at the season numbers for the Patriots offense. Yes, it looks good, and I'm not going to say the strength of schedule because they suck and they don't deserve it. I'm past that point now. You're in a Super Bowl. It doesn't matter anymore, right?
Yeah, you can't write a soft schedule all the way to the Super Bowl. I
No,
don't care
you
what
can't.
anyone
You
says.
can't. But what you can do is numbers can be inflated from what you play because the old Patriots did it for years with their division, and
Yeah, because they
This-
played the Jets and the Dolphins
yes,
and the Bills.
and the
who
Bills who
sucked.
were all terrible.
Yeah.
So the Bills weren't terrible this year. They split the games against them, but I think some big games against really, really, really poor teams has helped inflate their numbers. I don't think the Patriots offense is nearly as good. I don't think the Patriots offense is nearly as good as the Seattle's defense. I think this is probably the biggest discrepancy in the two teams.
I think the only issue is on offense, they've got enough talent to move the ball. They've got enough talent to score points. The only problem that I can see is that their O-line is really, really deficient.
Oh, they're going to struggle on the
They're going to
O-line,
have
for
to.
sure.
They're going to have to work something out. I don't know. They've obviously got to have some sort of plan to do something,
Yeah.
because they can't just leave 5 of them out there and just throw them to the wolves. They're going to have to do something. They're going to have to leave the backs in. Tight ends are going to be chipping all day. I don't know what they're going to do, but they've got to do something to help that O-line. They got to, get that ball out quick. I don't know what they're going to do. They got to do something.
Can we touch on the developing story of Imanwari being
Yeah.
hurt at practice? So apparently there was a bit of a what they call is like 7-on-7 or Scully or whatever. It's just basically running through routes and whatever at 75%, and he's tripped on or he's rolled his ankle on someone in a non-contact sort of drill and walked off the field in his own power.
Yep.
But it's still developing how bad it is and all that sort of stuff. But initially, what the coaching staff and the training staff's come out saying that they'll have to look at alternative measures, I guess.
Yeah,
Potentially expecting him not to play. So,
there was
which is
two-
a huge out.
It's a massive out because if you know ball, you know how important Nick Emanwari is to this defense.
Oh, if you know ball, you were saying it during the draft.
Yes, before you even got him. But McDonald has openly said that this guy is kind of the Jenga piece that makes this whole defense work, because the modern NFL defense, I think one of the most important positions is the nickel position. If you look at the top defenses in this league, they're all pretty blessed at that nickel position. Like the Eagles last year, Cooper DeJean was one of the most important players down that stretch.
Yeah.
He started off a bit slow, but when he got going and learnt the system,
Well, he was essentially playing in all different positions.
Yes.
And then when they said, "Oh no, Fangio put him in nickel," that's what really, as you said, unlocked the whole key to the
and his
defense.
Super Bowl play, like his pick six, it won
Pretty
them
much
that
sealed the game,
I
yeah.
think that game was over from there.
If you want any more
Very well
signs of how important the nickel position is, they've included that now as a separate all-pro position now.
Correct.
So it's a nickel/third corner. So that's how important these good defenses have. And Seattle can, I guess, utilize other players. They're quite versatile.
They'll roll Spoon into nickel, sure.
I think that if they want to run the nickel package, yeah, they can start Job and Reek Woolen at the corner and have Witherspoon.
Yeah.
If they want to keep Witherspoon at the boundary corner, they can roll Kobe Bryant down and then have Ty Cotter, who started a lot of games this year because they had a lot of injuries in the backfield, and have Ty Cotter and Julian Love playing.
There is a bit of an
safeties.
update on Evan Wari. I've just looked up
Yeah.
from 2 hours ago. He was spotted going into the hotel and without a boot or scooter or anything. And a lot of medicos have said that if he hasn't got a boot or anything, he definitely hasn't broken his ankle. So
That's what I think. I said.
they reckon it's a high ankle sprain at worst, which means he'll play.
That's what I
high
said.
ankle sprain. I don't reckon he'll play.
If it's not broken or torn, with
It's-
4 days left, the NFL, he will play. It'll just be a matter of how effective he is.
Yeah.
This is a guy that relies on his athleticism.
Yeah.
If he's 5% slower, 10% slower, you almost will play someone else over him because that's, as we've said before, the margins are so razor thin in the NFL.
Yeah.
5% less athleticism for Emanwari will make someone else more effective than him.
Yep.
That's just simple as that. So
And why he's so important, and people who are like, oh, he's just a rookie, or I've never heard of him before. Why is he so important? It's just his body type and his size and his speed and his strength. So I think he's 6'4", runs a 4.32,
It's the height. Yeah.
smokes everyone in the bench press, had the highest vert. He's just built in a lab, is what kids would say
and
now.
his football IQ is
Yep. And
outstanding.
his aggressiveness, he can
Reads and
beat blocks,
reacts.
he can blitz. But what he does for the scheme is he allows Seattle to predominantly play out of a nickel so they can cover all the passes, and he's so effective against the run that he can seal an edge, or he can actually make tackles in the backfield on the run. So you can play heavy with a light box essentially, which is what it's basically a cheat code for defense.
And understand that the Seahawks play the most nickel in the NFL. They almost play at 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much their base. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a team that relies on him. It sucks. I personally, the two things that scared me were the players consoling him after he did it. Now, that could have just been because he was upset because he didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah.
Because obviously for a young kid in his first year who's very important, and he would know how important he is, looking down the barrel of not being able to play in a Super Bowl
That'd be devastating.
would be devastating.
Yeah.
So it could have just been that. And then McDonald, it could have just been some savvy from him, but he normally, if they're right, they'll come out and say, no, he's rolled it. He'll be okay. But he kind of said, and in fairness, it was about 15 minutes after it happened. So it was right at the end of training. He said, we've got to get it assessed and then see where it's at. So it could mean a lot. The fact that he's not in a boot, not on a scooter, is walking on it, he's putting weight on it. That's a very good sign, because if it was bad, they would be like, don't put weight on it for 4 days and let's see if we can get it right. So if he's walking, that's very positive, but let's just see how it plays out. I think we should assume he plays until we know he doesn't, because I think NFL teams are as I said, I think I said to Tom before you boys got here tonight, they'll have him in the boot, they'll have him in the hydro bath. He will sleep in the hydro bath to make sure that leg's right. Like if anyone can do it, it's an NFL team that can get him right. So
and he doesn't have to travel now either. He's already at the city.
he's already there, which
So
everyone knows once you travel, you get in the
swelling
air, it
and all
swells
that.
up, and it
Yeah.
creates
You
real
know all
issues.
about it.
They would probably, if they were still needing to travel, he would probably drive and not
Yeah,
fly.
potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how serious they take it. Or he'd fly in one of those
compression.
compression boots.
Yeah. Yep.
So the fact he's not in it, it's a good sign. Let's see how it plays out. But again,
Big loss.
it just feels like everything's just
It definitely favors.
really ticking to the
Definitely
other direction.
favors the Patriots. No, but I think what's critical for the Seattle defense versus New Orleans, the New England offense, is Drake May's running ability, and he's not necessarily an out of the pocket runner. Because if he does that, Seattle's got way too much speed in the secondary and at linebacker that he'll get smoked.
Yep.
But he's actually very effective at running through the heart of the defense.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the only way you can really counter that is if you have a disciplined pass rush.
Yep. I was going to say.
So your
it's great
defensive
to see that.
tackles, you can run stunts and all that sort of stuff, which Seattle do a really good job with a 4-man rush. But if you don't have the replacement to the I guess the blitz or the stunt going at the same time, Drake May can step up and pick up some yards. But I think this is going to come down to if Drake May has the ability to pass the ball, because you can take these little rushing yards, this, that, and the other. You can get 5-yard chunks, 7-yard chunks here, maybe move the chains once or twice, but you can't rely on that sustainably. And I think that he's going to have to pass the ball. And he's been predominantly this year a really good deep ball passer.
Yeah, his deep ball's beautiful.
But he hasn't
deep
played
ball.
against...
Best in the NFL with deep ball passers.
Yeah.
But he hasn't played... He only had 2 or 3 deep balls against all the good defenses.
Well, let's address the elephant in the room right at the playoffs. It is not an unfair statement to say that Drake May has been extremely underwhelming in the playoffs. Now,
He's played bad enough to lose every game he's been in.
100%.
Yeah.
It's just that the other team have
Played worse.
played worse than him.
Yeah.
And in like the Chargers game, Herbert did not play well in that game.
No.
But neither did Drake May. He
No,
was
he
awful.
didn't.
He scored 16 points and they
It was a kick
dominated
six.
defensively.
Yeah.
And then
The Chargers defense played well.
they did. They're a good
Yeah.
defense. And
Yeah.
the Texans, again, similar story. He fumbled it 5 times, I believe, lost it twice. He threw a pick. The snow game, like it's hard
He
to
played well in the snow.
yeah, he
but
made a few good plays. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's hard to evaluate anyone on that second half. But
Yeah.
the first half, they only scored from it was a fumble. It was whatever it was, fumble, whatever you think it was ruled a fumble. So
Yep.
they only scored off that.
I think the championship game is he didn't do anything to lose that game. And I think
Correct.
that's the most
That's
important
what I
thing
was.
of
I
that
was
game.
going to wait for
Yeah.
James to finish
Yeah.
and say that.
Yeah.
He might not have played well, but he didn't lose the game.
No.
But he could have against the Texans. He was if Stroud had just played mildly okay, they lose that game.
It's a big if because Stroud is not a good player.
Yeah, that's fair too. Like, that's
He's just
how
not.
that's how it
No,
works.
that's not what we're saying. We're just saying that
Yeah.
May also played bad enough to lose that game.
If we're
Yeah, he did.
looking at his form, the last 3 games leading into the Super Bowl, he has not played at a very high level. And the offensive line is bad. So that's a reason it's bad. Like, we can't give the Chargers, we can't give Herbert, a bit of a free go because his offensive line's bad and then shit on May for it. This is a bad offensive line.
It's a bad offensive line that's playing very poorly.
Campbell is struggling. I think
Yeah.
the rookie kind of haul, and he was injured. He's come back. I think it's wearing on him.
Very
now.
long
It's a-
season for a rookie to make a Super Bowl run in your first year as well.
If you play every game in college football, including playoffs, you'll play 14 games or 15 games.
Mhm.
So there's 17. You're already playing 2 more, and that's just the regular season.
Yeah.
The more they've ever played. High school's only about 9 games.
And who's his most likely matchup?
Anyone. I think
they
they'll put
rotate
Tank.
it through.
I
Yeah.
think they'll let
DeMarcus.
Tank go after him.
Yeah, I think on the downs they know they're going to run, they'll put D Law on him and just shut him out.
Okay.
And then he's sort of struggled with the speed guys, so if they need to get a sack, I think they'll put Derek Hall on him or
Nwosu's.
Nwosu,
Yeah.
or Boy Mafe. They really can just swap it up with anyone.
Yeah, they're very deep
Yeah,
at all. But like they're probably 7 defensive linemen deep that are very, very good. They're starters on pretty much any team in the NFL. That's how.
pretty much.
So they don't. This is where it gets hard when you're playing. This is why Seattle's defense has been so good this season. Is that just use the Cowboys as an example, right? When they had Parsons, if Parsons didn't get there, you were a good chance you're going to torch him. Now he was hard to stop, but if teams actually put the effort in, made sure they nullified him,
Yeah.
schemed him, went away from him, you could nullify him. And it was similar with Green Bay this year and a lot of times as well. So this team doesn't have that one guy that you're like, we shut him down and they don't get pressure. Every one of these guys can get pressure. They've got 2 All-Pros at D tackle with Big Cat and Byron Murphy. Byron Murphy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it
They
right.
didn't get him. He didn't get in though.
Was he Pro Bowl? I thought he was second team All-Pro. Or was Big Cat second team All-Pro?
Big Cat. He was a snub, but yeah.
Either way, they're 2 All-Pro caliber D tackles.
Yeah.
And then Lawrence can go inside at any point and he's going to give you great pass rush from inside.
Jaron Reed, or they'll just blitz the safety, the linebackers.
Yeah, like Reed's their 3rd D. Well, he's probably their 4th D tackle because you put Lawrence in a D tackle first, but he's a veteran, very good football player. And the bottom line is that this offensive line has just not been up to it. And I actually had some of the notes Tom put in. I said some of the biggest, what was it, Tommy? The biggest impact position?
Yeah, so the X Factor position, are you talking about?
No, the position group that has the most.
Yeah, so the difference makers you guys had were the 2 Patriots defenses for yourself and George, and Scotty reckons the difference maker was the Seahawks defense.
Now, I think the Seahawks defense, if they dominate, it will be an absolute difference maker, and we'll talk about them soon. But the reason I went with the Patriots, because I'm looking at it from, if the Patriots want to win this game, what's going to be the biggest difference maker? I expect the Seattle defense to play really well, and I think they will. So the biggest difference maker is the Patriots defense, as we talked about with May, they've played pretty well the last few weeks, and now that's an impact that has to happen, right? They have to play well if they want to stay in this game. So that was why I had them as an impact. But
I agree for what it's worth. They 100% have to play well.
So my second big impact was the Patriots' offensive line. They have to find a way to play well in this game.
Yeah.
And McDaniels is old snaky. In fairness to him, he's been there before plenty of times. He knows how to scheme stuff up. Now, he doesn't have Brady there to do a lot of that stuff for him. And I'm not saying he's all on Brady, but it's a pretty big luxury when you have, what did we say? Bill Belichick had 18 top 10 defenses in 20 years as a coach.
Yeah.
So he had those guys.
You have the luxury.
You
of
have
just
Brady
playing.
and a top 10 defense. He doesn't have that, I don't think, this year.
He's got a top 10 defense. He doesn't have Brady though. But Drake May's not Brady, but he's no slouch.
No,
he can turn it on when he needs to.
But if he
But if the O-line can't block us, if the O-line are witches hats, there's nothing you can do about it.
The difference between May and Brady, and obviously not holistically, because the difference is a chasm, because he's the best player of all time. But the difference between them as a quarterback is that Brady was the master of getting rid of the ball extremely quick
and diagnosing
diagnose
coverage.
defense, understand what they're doing. Like, there's that story, we've said it 1,000 times, that play where he threw an interception and he's coming on the sideline, he's throwing his helmet, and McDaniel's like, it's the first quarter, man. Like, it doesn't matter, we'll be fine. He's like, no, that guy, he stuffed that up. He shouldn't have been there. It was this coverage. He should have rolled down into the flat. I ran my play action, threw it there because he shouldn't have been there. He stuffed up and I rewarded him. And that pisses me off because I knew what he should have been doing.
Yeah.
And then I asked the guy after, he's like, I couldn't believe when he threw it to me. I completely stuffed that up.
Yeah.
And like that's how good Brady was at designating. And Manning was the same. Rodgers was the same.
QBs don't play like that anymore.
No,
really.
It's a different world.
It's not really
that
how it
art's
is anymore.
gone.
And they also, we've got to understand, although I like Hunter Henry, he's a good tight end. Stephon Diggs is a good receiver at this point of his career.
He's good. Yeah.
Booty, he'll make a big play for you. He'll catch a big ball in one-on-one coverage. But they're not, like Mac Hollins, fine. They're not bereft of talent.
No.
Sorry, they're not, what's the word where they got too much talent? They haven't got talent coming out their ass. Like, so couldn't think of a cool way to say
So
it.
I've got for one of mine, you've touched on two of mine. So my X factor is actually Big Cat, alluding to what I was saying before. I think that if with the balanced pass rush and Drake May needing to run up the middle, if they don't double team Big Cat, or if Big Cat can shed his block and bring pressure right up the middle, Drake May's in for a very long day because he won't have any time to throw the ball, and Big Cat could get a few sacks himself, or Drake May is looking to scramble and then he gets swallowed up. And another one of my hidden heroes is actually Hunter Henry, because systematically what Snake McDaniels is going to look to do is to dump it off quickly to tight ends. And especially with Seattle running sort of a scheme where you don't know where the pressure's coming, a simulated scheme. So they look like they could be bringing 7 and everyone drops out to coverage. And I think that it's going to be keyed into Drake May really quickly to dump the ball off to Hunter Henry as often as he possibly can. And if one of those players breaks off for a bit of yak, he could be like a little bit of an X factor to keep the drive going and get some points on the board for 100%. The Patriots.
It'll be Hunter Henry. That's why I said it to you in our chat. I was half joking to see you up, but I was half serious. Like, Hunter Henry will have a good day by design. And even the Seahawks defense as well, by design, they don't really cover the tight ends that much anyway. Like, they'll let the tight ends get those 5 or 7 yards over the middle, like, all the time.
Oh, not over the middle. Usually it's a flare out screen or a quick out. So it's like a 3-yard throw, and then they'll expect to get some yak. And
there'll be plenty of that. Plenty of those little screens out to the backs and all that too. Because I don't think they'll be able to run the ball.
I think Seattle knows that that's coming.
Yeah, I actually think if they try and run screen game, I think that's diabolical.
Yeah,
because Kittle had 6 receptions for 20 yards.
Yeah, like if you look at, let's look at what the Rams were able to do last week to Seattle, because they had a pretty good day. Like, Stafford was obviously phenomenal.
He was nuclear,
but he was able to generate big plays by buying time and then finding crossing routes to the other side of the field once the coverage had broken down. Because when you're a really good defense and you rely on pressure, you play to that style, right? You go, hey, we got to cover hard for 3 seconds and then we're going to get there.
just aggressive.
Yeah,
aggressive
so we're going to
time,
play hard, play underneath it, and then we'll get pressure. He'll either throw it to us and we'll turn it over, or we'll generate pressure and get a sack or a throwaway.
There's
right?
two big differences with that. I'm going to like full nerd out in this podcast.
I think we call it footfallism in here, mate.
Yeah. So Mike McDonald played a lot of man against Nakua and Devontae Adams because Stafford can't run. So you don't need to keep eyes on the quarterback.
Yeah,
you can turn your back and you focus on your receivers. I think with Drake May's running ability, they'll zone off a lot more.
Yeah, okay.
And then they'll play more of a match coverage. So it'll basically have a cover two shell.
Match, yeah.
And then the outside will probably lock up the outsides, and then the insides will just take whatever crosses. But you're watching the quarterback at all times.
Yeah.
So I think that that by alignment sort of just takes, it doesn't matter what Stafford had done, because I think Seattle's going to change the coverages up so much.
Yeah. Can I sort of segue into that? Because they're playing a quarterback that is really good at running, and how that changes the complexity of how they go about this game, because they go from 1 week where a quarterback isn't going to use his legs to probably one of the most prolific runners this season from the quarterback position.
I'm not an NFL coach, but I'm guessing that they would have used Nick Emenwari as a spy. And traditionally now, like if you play Madden, the scheme would be like the spy's always in the middle. But in the NFL, they can spy out of the D end, they can spy out of the nickel.
They send pressure to one side, so then they know if he's going to run, he's going to run this way. So they'll zone match him, and then if he boots out, then you go.
Exactly.
And then the safety knows, well, if he boots out, I'm going to come down. If you can throw it 50 yards over the top of me accurately,
while we're blitzing him,
while the other safety will roll across as the one. That's what good defenses do. They read off each other. So they'll blitz the right side. They'll wait for May to boot to his non-throwing side.
Yeah,
his left side to throw with his right. They'll send the guy down to stop him running with it. Then the free safety will come down and play the middle. The other side safety will roll across and say, throw it deep. It better be spot on, or I'm coming back the other way immediately. Yeah. That's what these defenses will do to you. They will force you into making that play. And I think we're also like Drake May. If they were to win this game, he would be the youngest quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That has a factor in this game, right? Because there's some veteran guys on this defense. It's a veteran coach. He was one of the best coaches of defense when he was at the Ravens, McDonald. Mm-hmm. He's seen a lot of it before. So we think, McDaniels, yes, he's been there before, but McDonald, I think he's entering that echelon of one of the best defensive minds in the game. It's like the Shanahan version of defense. The way
I think he's definitely there.
Yeah, because he hasn't just come in and gone, I'm going to run what everyone else runs. He's like, no, this is my system. I want Nick Emenwari because I want him to do this. I want Julian Love because I want him to do this. Do we trade Rick Wallen? No, I need him as a tall outside boundary corner that can press and then chase it down.
Yeah.
So he's a completely different style that McDaniels, he's probably seen a lot of it, but this is a very unique style of defense.
And interesting enough, they've never crossed paths.
It's weird. Yeah.
So obviously McDaniels was at the Raiders for a little bit when McDonald was at I don't know how we haven't fucked that up yet, but while McDonald was at Baltimore, and then they never faced each other. Yes. And then now obviously Seattle and Patriots haven't faced each other. So interesting they haven't faced each other.
I think they faced each other last year when McDaniels wasn't there because Mayo was the coach.
Correct.
Yeah,
yes, that's right.
Yeah, hasn't been on. Yeah. So the other big X factor, the guy that I think just shows how good Seattle defense is that this is a guy that you almost bury the lead on. One of the biggest impacts of this game is Ernest Jones.
Yeah, or Witherspoon.
Especially with Nick Emenwari playing out, because Ernest Jones has played at such a high level. He should have been first team All-Pro.
Yeah.
I think statistically, he was as good as the 2 first team All-Pros, and he was on one of the best defenses in football. So it was a bit of a travesty that he wasn't.
And he had more impact plays.
He was second team All-Pro, but he should have been first team. And what this guy does, he's a controller of the middle. He understands the defense. McDonald went and got him specifically to run what he needed him to run, and he's fit into it like an absolute weapon. And his season this year has kind of gone under the radar because the whole defense has been so good. And statistically, there's been a lot of guys that have done really well, but he has been a phenomenal member. And if he has as good a game as he did against the Rams, because although they scored some points, he still played very well. If he has a big game against this front, I think he can do some absolute damage to them, especially covering tight ends. Like his interceptions all this year have been on those. They let him have the dump off, and then bang, he cuts it off and goes, no, this one, he's going to go to the dump off, cut it straight away. Yeah. Act like you're dropping, fly down as soon as the ball snaps and jump in front of it.
At middle linebacker, which is insane.
Yeah.
Like that's
good for a corner, let alone.
I was just going to say, as a DB, that is a great year. As a linebacker, that's phenomenal to have that. Like
he's had a great year. There's no doubt about it.
luck into 6 picks that often.
So he becomes that X factor guy, I think, for this.
That's
game.
huge. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think Seattle's whole defense, just the talent level, there's multiple X factors.
Yes, I think it's just a very good defense.
You can have DeMarcus Lawrence as an X factor. You could have Witherspoon, who we haven't even spoken about yet, and he's the barometer of the defense. Ernest Jones is huge.
Even Julian Love's an outstanding safety. He was just dinged up a lot this year.
Yeah,
when he's played, he's been outstanding.
You know, the good thing about safeties is if you don't know who the safety is, they're doing their job perfectly, like a tackle. Like
that's fair.
Everyone their name called. Yeah,
everyone knows that rookie safety from the Eagles with Mutombo. I would say Mutombo, but it's not his name.
No.
Magumba.
But he's been burned so much, so you just know his name.
Yeah. I think the X factor for the Patriots, and I know I had Hunter Henry, but I think if Henderson can break one of these big runs, I've seen enough of Seattle's defense. They don't give up big runs for touchdowns. They've had one blown run for 50 yards. But if he can get a big run for 20, 25 yards and really flip the field position, he's exactly like Kenneth Walker. Whenever they touch the ball, it could go. Yeah. So that's one thing that's intriguing to watch.
Yeah, it's another rookie that could have a big impact on the game as well. That's a really good point.
So I guess before we move on to the other sides of the ball, is it fair to say that the Seahawks, like really, if you're going into this game and just thinking that the Patriots are going to be able to score 35 points and win this game in a shootout,
you're a nuffy.
I can't see that happening against this team.
No, this game will not be a shootout. Neither team will be able to score. I think it's going to be a very low scoring game.
Yeah,
I don't know what's the over under, please, Tom?
45 and a half.
45 and a half.
I'd be taking the under, guaranteed.
It's only 22 points each.
Kind of where I'm at with it, man.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes, I think to say that Seattle's defense has the wood over the talent wood over the Patriots offense. You know, if you look at the last 3 games, you said if we scrap the regular season, just look at the last 3 games, it's been a fairly ineffective offense, right?
I think the only really glaring hole is their O line. If their O line is just that little bit,
and receivers like Stephon Diggs. He's scraped 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I like him. I'm not shitting on him.
There's enough talent to make something happen on offense in this at the skill position. It's just that if they don't have time, of course you're going to say that. You're a Seattle fan, Scott.
No, of course you're going to say that. If you out of all the teams and all their wide receivers, they would be down there with Carolina for the playoff teams.
They're not a great wide receiver group, in my opinion.
Well,
I like Booty. He's going to be good.
I think
Stephon Diggs he's been okay this year, but
holistically, there's enough talent. If May's running for his life, or if he's getting pressure up the middle, there's no chance.
They don't really have he's under pressure. Throw it up to Randy Moss.
They don't have a guy that can beat you on the route.
No, Stephon Diggs will be the only one on those short routes, which he has done at times this year.
But I think
he towed Buffalo that first game. He massacred them.
Yeah, but I think that was more of a revenge game, and he might dip into that. But for this game, but those days are past him where he's just like one of the best route runners in the league. I think now,
that's fair too.
You're like,
he's obviously not in his prime. Like he's still a good player, but he's not like at that elite level like what he was.
We're going to talk about JSN obviously, and like you can't compare JSN to Diggs. Like no. JSN can cook anyone.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, all right, let's segue over to the Seattle offense versus the Patriots defense. George, you had Patriots defense as one of the biggest impacts.
So the Patriots D line, definitely, because I think that they're going to be really effective against the run. And I think I had my X factor player was Milton Williams. I'm
the Patriots. Yeah,
essentially guaranteeing that he's going to have a big game because
I like you when you guarantee things.
Yeah, he'll be able to really be really effective at stopping that run, especially up the middle. Like Scotty was saying pre-show, that might struggle against that wide run.
That's my little nugget.
Oh,
but yeah, there'll be no yards up the middle, and Milton Williams will make sure of that. And it's basically they're going to say, well, we're going to stop the run. Kenneth Walker's going to have no impact on this game. He's not going to beat us, and it's going to be Donald beat us. Beat us with your arm.
It's funny because I had my 2 X factors for Seattle and the Patriots. I had Milton Williams as 1 X factor, and then my Seahawks one was actually Kenneth Walker because I think that battle will have a massive impact on this game. Because if Kenneth Walker can go off, this is over. Like if they can run the ball,
it's over, 100%.
They are.
It's a bloodbath.
They are zero. It could be like the Niners.
Yeah,
like it could be.
Yeah, because they'll just like keep churning,
Keeping May
control
off the
the clock, control the chains. If they can get into that game like how they were getting in, how they got into it early against San Fran,
Yeah.
forget it.
Or
And
even
then
the
San
same
Fran
with
shut it down in the second half, but the damage was done.
There's no
the Rams. The Rams shut it
Oh,
down.
the Rams shut
second half,
it. It was
and
against the
then
Rams.
Darnold-
They went
yeah.
off at the first drive was all Kenneth Walker.
Yeah.
And then they went,
The
okay, we're going to
Rams.
shut you run. And then Darnold's like, you beauty.
There's no path to victory for the Patriots if Seattle can consistently run the ball. There's no path to victory there. And I don't think they'll be able to. I don't think either team will be able to run the ball at all. I think it's going to come down to both quarterbacks to try and win the game.
I know you have I don't want to steal your nugget on the way they can run the ball on these guys.
Well, this year the Patriots haven't played against a team that's effective with the wide running zone.
Yep.
And
Well,
I
the
think
Jets don't run a nice wide zone.
the Jets are just running out of town, I think. No, but and it is interesting. So if you set up to stop the inside run, it's completely different to stopping the outside run. And if Milton Williams gets stuck in the wash and Splain's a really good linebacker, but he's a downhill thumper,
Yep.
and he's not necessarily great against east to west, and you need to have guys that are really good east to west that play sideline to sideline. And if they're not in those fill gaps to what Kenneth Walker will do, he'll bait it outside, get the defense to flow and overcommit and cut it back up in the middle.
Yep.
And if Milton Williams and Splain get lost in the wash, there could be big yards there.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's what they'll initially. I think the first quarter of this game, let's just say Seattle can't run the ball, but they're trying to establish it. It could be either over in the first quarter or just a terribly quick, boring first quarter.
Yeah, like I agree.
are just running it into the line and trying to work out what they
Quarter
can
time's
do.
going to be like 3-0 or 3-all. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
I think
It's gonna be
Seattle's
very
definitely
boring.
going to try and run up the middle. I think
Yeah, I
they're
think they
definitely
should.
going to test them because they've been really good running the ball the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And we all know we've spoken about the O-line for what the Patriots have played against. And I think that might be a little bit of an outlier to inflate their stats a little bit.
For the playoffs,
But I
they've
think-
played bad offensive lines.
but I
Except
still-
for Denver. Denver a good offensive line.
But I still think they're very good at stopping the run. I'm not saying that they're completely.
Yeah, when Milton Williams, I think they're like the best.
Yeah,
at
I
stopping
like
inside run.
since Milton Williams has come back, I personally think he's been one of the best D tackles in football.
Yeah, he's played really
and the
well.
playoffs, he's been phenomenal, and he was phenomenal for the Eagles last year.
Yeah.
That's why he got
in an identical role.
yeah, that's
basically,
why
yeah.
he got that $100 million
He's
contract.
been actually really good against the pass as well.
Yes, he's just a very good player.
He
The
is,
difference between him on the Eagles and him on the Patriots is that I don't think there's the same level of talent around him that the Eagles had. And I think that like Gonzalez is a phenomenal player. I think he's one of the best defenders on the field for both teams in this game. But other than that, there's some holes in the Patriots defense.
They got
right?
one of their safeties isn't too bad, but he gets blown deep a lot. Like he blows a lot of coverages, and I can't remember what number he is.
Their ends,
21 or
their
something.
ends aren't phenomenal. Like
They're
and their
undersized.
ends are going against like Abe Lucas is one of the biggest dudes I've ever seen in my life. Like those ends better be ready to brawl all game with him because he won't take a backward step. And Charles Cross is actually one of the most underrated left tackles in football.
He's pretty good.
He's a top 10 tackle, if you ask me. And he doesn't get looked at in that way. He's an outstanding tackle. And I think that their tackles versus any end the Patriots can put on them is an instant outmatch.
I don't think it's a reasonable statement to say that a Mike Vrabel coach defense isn't going to come and be ready to play.
Oh, and that's a fair point.
They're going to put it all on the line.
You're talking about
I don't
Jalen
know.
Hawkins for the safety
Yes,
Yeah.
Hawkins. Yeah,
But Piss and
is
Vinny
he the
can
punt
only get you
returner
so
one as
far.
well?
True, but
and Craig Woodson's the other one, the rookie.
No, it's Hawkins is the other one that gets.
so
the
when I
burn.
was
He plays a lot
looking
of
at the
it as well.
matchups for this is where I think is the game's going to be won or lost.
Yeah.
Seattle's offense versus Pat's defense.
Yeah.
This is where the game's going to be won or lost. As I said, they're going to bottle up Walker. I'm almost certain of that. Walker's going to be trying to run through a brick wall all day. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's going to have to be up to Darnold to make throws. And call me whatever you want, mate. I'm taking a giant sip of haterade right now. I've put it in my thing. I'm predicting multiple picks from Darnold.
Mm.
And I think as I said, I was also sort of looking at the players and looking at the matchups on what they can do to try and win this game defensively. The Patriots. I've kind of thought, well, they got Gonzalez, who's probably one of the best corners in football,
Yeah,
in my opinion. He's definitely one of the best corners, probably the best corner on the field. They'll put him the way I would do it. Obviously, I'm I'm not. Let me just state, I'm
You're
not an
you're
NFL
not
coach.
Mike Vrabel.
I'm not Mike Brown.
Who's
I'm not
going
an
to
NFL coach.
cut his dick off if they win the Super Bowl?
Well,
He's just going to donate 6 inches, he reckons, and keep 6 feet.
That was one of the funniest things I've ever heard. That
Hey,
was standing for
he's
him.
a real humanitarian.
He's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
funny guy.
Yeah, that is fantastic.
You got Gonzalez, who can essentially blanket one half of the field. If it was me and I was coaching, I'd be putting him on Cup and saying, "You just delete Cup. Cup's not going to get a catch today." And then I'd put the other corner on JSN and go, right, you're not going to be matched up one-on-one on JSN all day. We're going to bracket him. We're going to cover him
That's
with
the old
safety help
Patriots defense.
all day, and just make obviously bottle up the middle through the run game and make Darnold beat you. Because if Darnold can make the throws and beat them, they deserve to win. But I just don't see it happening. Not on the biggest stage. I'm 100% predicting he's going to cough it up and he's going to melt down.
Couldn't agree any less.
Of course
So,
not. Of course you're not going to agree because you're a Seattle fan, and that's completely fine.
Can I go back? Because I'm not a Seattle fan, right? So if we're taking the last few games on their merit, like we did with Drake May, what more could have Darnold done the last 2 games? Niners, he made some great throws. We didn't have to do a lot. That's fair. But he was pretty much perfect in that game. And then
Again, he didn't have to do anything.
He didn't have to do much.
anything.
So I'm saying that's fine. But did he have a bad play at all in that
He's
game?
still passed for
There's been plenty of
third
teams
down.
that have really struggled against the Niners
He
defense.
threw for 120 yards. He didn't have a
that
bad
was
game.
the
He didn't have a
first
good game. He didn't have to do anything. That was the first game against.
That's
against-
fair.
Yeah,
and
that was
then
the Week 18
against
game.
the Rams, he was fundamentally, practically perfect in that
yeah,
game.
he had a good game.
I don't
He had a
know.
good game
He
against
didn't
the
have a
Rams.
good game. That's the best game Sam Darnold's ever played. And you would argue
Maybe.
that was the
Maybe.
biggest game he's ever played in.
Yeah.
And he not only stepped up to the plate, he stepped up and dominated.
He was equal with Stafford.
I
that
just
day.
don't, mate. As I said, call me whatever you want. Call me a hater. I'll wear a name tag that says George K. Hater. No problem. But
I'll get one made up for
please do, and I'll wear it proudly. I just don't see him doing it in the biggest game of the year with the whole world watching.
This is where
Call me whatever you want.
This is where I disagree. So, what Kubiak has done a really good job in the last
New Raiders head coach, Clint Kubiak.
Yeah, 100% he is.
We'll talk about that in a minute. That's another cheeky wrinkle in this game as
we'll
well.
bring that up.
What he's done is, in a few ways, he's changed where JSN lines up.
Yep.
So, and then with pre-snap motion and all that sort of stuff. So, what the Patriots have done a really good job of all playoffs is disguising where their pressure's coming from. They've been bringing a lot of pressure because they've been playing against a lot of bad O-lines and a lot of quarterbacks not in form, being Stroud and the backup Sidham. And so they've basically gone gun-ho with pressure. You can't do that against Seattle because Darnold's been one of the best in the league against pressure this year. And I think
it's actually true and false in some ways. Down the stretch, he actually hasn't been great against pressure, but the team has been able to be so successful that they haven't been able to pressure them because they build a lead and then it's like,
Yeah.
well, shit, we got to send the farm and then he can torch them. So
Yeah.
yes, he's been okay against pressure, but I think pressure is the key to actually
100%.
forcing him into mistakes. But I also don't think the Patriots can do that enough to force him into enough mistakes.
Oh, that's a separate issue.
yeah, that's a separate conversation.
The secret ingredient is that pressure him and make him throw it.
I also in my who could go missing. This is not a slight because I think JSN is a superstar.
I think I had the same. I think
I'm not
JSN.
saying he will go missing because he's a bad player.
Yeah.
I'm saying we've seen a stretch this year. This kind of marries into what you were saying about the way they're moving him now. We saw a stretch for kind of 4 or 5 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, where he wasn't as impactful.
Yeah, like a lull. Yep.
Because the defense were just saying, we'll put everyone on him, we'll blanket him, and you can beat us another way.
And then
And
we'll
then-
just get Shaheed going.
And then the problem was in those games. This is why the Rams couldn't do it because then they just beat them anyway in other ways. So
Yeah.
this is where the Seattle's offense is challenging because Clint Kubiak, what he's done with Jason over the past 3 or 4 games is, as you said, move him position, motion him, force the defense to show their hand,
Yeah.
and then utilize other weapons or force them to show their hand, lull their coverage on JSN, and then go, you beauty, I'm going to attack you now.
Yeah.
And he's had so many impactful plays. He had the touchdown against San Fran. The Rams, him and Puka were both incredible, but JSN was unreal in that game,
Yeah.
He had a good game. Yep.
including the final play, which was holding on the defense.
Yeah.
It's because he had burned him so badly. That poor kid was like, I'm just going to drag him out of the ground and hope they don't throw it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I have to because he's just torched me. So if they hadn't held him, he would have run in for a touchdown and won that game
And-
anyway.
Anyone that is saying, oh yeah, Gonzalez is going to blanket him and shut him up and shut him out.
I don't think he can on his own.
The difference is that Gonzalez is a really big corner that really needs his bump and run or his press
He's a
coverage.
physical corner, yeah.
And JSN's just so good at just not getting covered like that.
And they'll move him to the slot, and then, hey, it's at your peril if you want to play Gonzalez on him in the slot. I think.
Yeah, no, I don't think it'll be
detrimental.
much. That's why I was saying the opposite of that. Just take Gonzalez can just like take whatever side of the field JSN's on. Gonzalez takes the other side,
And that's the old.
and then bracket him in with the corner and safety help over the top, because Gonzalez doesn't need safety help, because like you said, he'll just hold you there, bro. Like, you can't get away from him. He's too big.
And so getting to why I think Seattle will run the ball really well is because Landry and the other end, who I can't
Keon
remember.
White.
No, Keon White's at the Niners now. They traded him.
It's the one who was drafted by the Jags.
He's got a funky name.
Yeah, I forgot his name. He was drafted by the Jags.
Yeah. But they're undersized speed pass rushers, and you sort of touched on Seattle's tackles. They're big dudes. And Sundell, the center, he's super agile and he's really good for the zone blocking.
Oh, some of his and the way he pulls, like we were talking about it in the Rams game, it is so hard to pull from. It's what Jason Kelsey made a career of, being able to do that. And
Hall of Fame career.
One of the best, probably the best center ever.
No one's saying Sundell.
But I'm saying Sundell has the athleticism
Yeah.
to challenge them on outside zone, which is out. If you ask like Shanahan, what's the key to outside zone? It's a center that can move.
And I just think that if you don't have the edge setting edge rushers or edge players that the Patriots, they just don't have the big guys to do that.
Yeah, to like
Sundell,
at least like neutral with the tackle kind of thing.
Exactly, because then you stop the flow, and then they call it like elephants on parade, where the big guys can't keep getting out. And if Sundell doesn't get that second shot at linebackers, the zone doesn't work. But that only happens if you've got a really good edge setting player. And I don't think that the Patriots have that.
Who is it? Did you look up the guy?
Is it Mike Owenu?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He's the right guard
funky
for.
No, that's the right guard. Who's the
end.
defensive end?
He's got a.
Oh, DN. My bad.
So I think they can get outside of that and break contain, and that's where the runs will be successful.
Yeah. Can I say, just while we're talking about Seattle's offense, obviously my hidden gem for this game for the Seattle's offense, Barner, AJ.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's been really good, actually. He has been
And
good.
because, as you said before, let's just say that it goes that way, right? And they blanket Cooper Kupp with Gonzalez and they play the other side of the field. You want Spillane and Jack Gibbons covering AJ Barner. I think Barner can do some damage over that middle, whether that's checking down, making and getting some yak, or they run a lot of crosses with them. They flow everyone the other way. So let's say they put Jason on the right side of the field. They have Cooper Kupp on the left with Gonzalez blanketing him. They'll run a deep in and get him across the other side of the field. They'll have AJ Barner blocking and then releasing and going to the other side. And then good luck for those linebackers who they're going to want to blitz a lot. So you're probably going to have one of them in coverage. They've got to try and stop him crossing their face and getting the open side of the field where there's nobody.
Across,
So if he can get the open side of the field, catch the ball in stride and then run,
Or
that
they're
can kill him.
matching with Kenneth Walker, who's been getting out of the backfield.
That's
as a
what I
pass
mean.
catcher.
Like, Barner is that he's actually an athletic mismatch for linebackers. You don't want a linebacker covering
He's
him
big
because
dude.
he's a very good athlete and he's freaking huge.
Yeah.
So I think that
Pat
could be a
Stevens going
guy.
to have to be very disciplined all game.
I think he could have a massive impact on this game.
I actually had him
guy.
for Tommy asked for a bet, and I had him for 4+ receptions for my bet.
Yeah, I think that'd be safe. I think he's going to have a huge game. And then who's the rookie tight end you got? Arroyo.
Yeah, Arroyo. Yeah,
He's
really
been
good.
injured a bit, but again, supreme athlete.
Yeah.
He can outrun guys. He's
I liked
big.
him coming out of the draft. He was really good.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be able to do some damage
hurt.
with those tight ends.
If he plays that, and they can get him with him and Shaheed in some sort of package to really stretch the field and attack the deep ball.
Yeah, and then we haven't
I
even mentioned Shaheed. If he gets one-on-one and over the top.
Well, that's
I think his biggest impact in the game will be on special teams, not on,
Yeah, true. They
not
could also
on-
dominate that part.
not in play.
What do we
The game
think
could
of-
actually be won or lost on special teams.
What
really,
do we
if you
think
about
of the coaching on this side of the ball? Obviously, Vrabel, I think he's going to win Coach of the Year, and I think he'd be well deserved for it. I'd have zero issue if him or Ben Johnson or Liam Cohen won it. But if he won it, I think there's probably 3 guys that really deserve it.
Yep.
On the prerequisites they give Coach of the Year now, it should be Shanahan. But anyway, on the way they give it is whoever's taken a crappy team and made them
it.
really
From 4
good.
wins to 14 wins.
Vrabel's
is
been
pretty-
outstanding.
pretty
right?
good.
And I think that you've got that versus Clint Kubiak, who has been successful everywhere he's gone. He's got this offense humming. He's earned himself a head coaching job. Does that add any wrinkle to the way they're prepared? The fact that he's
I don't think
I
so.
would hope he's mentally.
Do you
in
think?
this.
Are you sort of inferring that he might have one foot out the door
Well,
mentally?
He hasn't got one foot out the door. He's got both feet out the door.
No,
He's gone.
mentally.
As soon as this game
mentally.
ends, he's no longer a Seattle Seahawks.
Correct.
I
yeah.
don't think so because guys know during the season if they're coming back for the team or not. And
Yeah.
like Milton Williams would have known he wouldn't have got a contract from the Eagles last year and he still balled out. Like all these players,
Because
know-
he was a free agent though. He wanted to get paid. He didn't have a job, whereas Kubiak does have a job. That's what,
I'm just
that's what
asking.
James is saying.
It's just
There's
but
a
it's-
difference there.
it's
But
just
it's
the
not that-
storyline in this Super Bowl that you've got a guy, your OC, who, as I've said, what have we said a million times before? The margins are paper
Yeah.
thin.
I know what you're saying.
He's like
1% off
Like,
mentally. That's a fair point.
if he gets a text message from Geno Smith a couple of days before, like, "Are you going to cut me? Am I going to be a part of your team next year?" You don't know. Like that's what I mean. There could be just a minor
I think-
distraction.
I
I
would
don't think
say-
it will be.
I
I'm
would
just
say
asking the
NFL
question.
coaches are so dialed in that they're.
I don't think it even. I don't reckon the coach have their phone on them this week.
No.
They'd be like, call the office if
They,
someone's
they
dying.
are dialed in. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Like to coach at this level, you have to be. It's like
Yeah.
it's literally your entire life from the moment you wake up to the moment you
Oh,
go to
yeah.
sleep.
For the
But-
season, yes.
Like
Yeah.
they're also human beings.
True.
They're not robots.
No.
So your mind, and
Sometimes
sometimes
they're all pretty autistic at
your mind
level.
your mind does wander.
Yeah, maybe at 9, instead of thinking all Seattle, he's thinking, what am I going to do with
I don't
Rock
think
Bowers
so.
next year? Like, how am I going to make
Nah.
that work? I'm just saying, it's just, it could be a
It-
factor.
it's an interesting wrinkle. It is
Yes.
an interesting wrinkle because knowing that, as soon as that final whistle goes, win or loss, he's no longer on the staff.
I guarantee you, if
It's interesting.
the Seahawks offense, which again, I don't think this is going to happen, but if they sputter and don't play very well and there's some poor play calling and then they lose, I know who's getting the blame for it. It'll be, Clint Kubiak didn't prepare properly. He's won. Whether that's true or not, the media will jump on that immediately. Oh, he had
And
one foot out the door.
that's-
He was already thinking about it. Look, he hasn't stuffed up this play calling all year.
That's that, and I think that's the main reason why they wouldn't stuff it up.
You'd
Because-
hope so, yeah.
Because they
Well,
don't want to like
and
tarnish his name kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, 100%.
He wants to win the Super Bowl and roll into the Raiders and be like, I just want a fucking Super Bowl. You listen to me.
Yeah.
You want to win? I'll tell you how to win. I
You,
just did
you
it.
don't think that there's dollars involved for his new contract to win?
Yeah, it's probably fair too.
You don't think
Nah,
that
not with a different organization. No way.
you don't think that his title as Super Bowl offensive coordinator has no extra dollars involved?
No, I don't. I don't think it's got. I think it carries extra weight.
Yeah, that's what I was
yes,
gonna say,
in the
yeah.
room. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
As like a status symbol, absolutely, but not extra money in his pocket. No.
No, I think it would have a weight on your demeanor.
Like
when you
the amount of people that will now listen to you, like they will take your word as gospel as a result. Yeah, I definitely agree.
You'll
with
walk
that.
into the room with more respect if you win. If they score 50
As
points.
a quick
and
side
blow
note,
out.
I think he's going to do really well with the Raiders, and
I think so
especially
too.
if they
I
get,
think he's a good coach.
I think Mendoza's tailor made for
Oh, he's
that
perfect.
offense. He's
Yeah.
perfect for
Yeah.
that offense.
Yeah.
It was a really good hire by Tom Brady. He did really well.
Yeah, hopefully Tom Brady can turn it. My only side note on that is it's the Raiders. They have a history.
Yeah, but
of stuffing
I
up
get it. I
coaches.
get it. But and I don't want to get derailed talking about the Raiders, so I'll just keep this very brief. At least Mark Davis is trying. He knows that he can't do it. He knows he's an idiot. He inherited the team from his dad. He does. I mean, look at his haircut, for God's
I knew
sake.
you were going to bring
Why
up
are we
his
talking
haircut.
about billionaires and their poor haircuts, for man? Like, get a better hairdresser. What are you doing? Anyway,
He's 1 for
he
1 on
knows
that.
he knows that he can't do it. So he's bringing in people that know how to win. And the number one winner in the NFL, I know he's a cheat, but the number one winner in the NFL is Tom Brady. He's brought him in and said, dude, help me. Help me turn this into a winning franchise.
And he's picked Clint Kubiak. From
Yeah.
all reports, he handpicked.
yeah, he handpicked him. That's
For
right.
Mendoza, knowing that he's going to get
Yeah.
that is the safest
That's
bet
a,
in the
that's
world.
a
Mendoza going
match made in heaven.
All right, on this offense versus defense, we've talked about obviously the Patriots defensive line is going to have a big part in it. Milton Williams is going to be a big part of that. I personally think I'm in your agreement, but different than you.
Oh,
I backed my boy Sam Darnold last week. I think he's going to have to pass the ball in this game, and I see no reason off current form. He might have a turnover, he might have two, but I think he will be a big baller in this game.
that's fair.
Sunny weather of Levi Stadium, not going to be a cloud in the sky. I think with JSN and Cooper Kupp and Shaheed and Barner and Kenneth
Too much
Walker
talent.
releasing,
Yeah.
and an offensive line that, other than Milton Williams, probably have a better matchup every single time.
Sure.
They're a better player. Like Zabel's one of the best guards in football, and he's a rookie. Like we talk about Campbell kind of going
I was going to
off.
bring that up. Yeah.
Zabel's actually getting better and
Yeah.
better and better. And we shit on Bradford as a right guard because he has some just mentally dumb stuff up.
Yeah,
But
he's bonehead sometimes.
other than the bonehead plays, which is a big part of it, he's actually quite efficient.
Pretty
and
solid, yeah.
Very powerful
Yeah.
and kind of a mean dude. Like
You can
he-
see why they picked him because
you
he's
can
like
see
he's
why
just
they
a
and you
big
can see why they're
brawler,
sticking
yeah.
with him because
He's a
they're
big
like,
brawler. He's got that
Well, they've stopped him.
bit of
most-
nastiness about him too.
They were pulling him, and they were trying to do these. They were pulling him from the right guard, and they're trying to do these left side cracks or left side toss plays or stuff like that. And they've any run with the pull to the left, they have scrapped that from the playbook.
Yeah.
Because Bradford just doesn't do it. He can't trap, he can't pull, he can't do anything
they
like
literally
that.
go, see that big dude in front
Just
of
let
you?
him brawl, man. That's it.
Get him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just let him brawl.
Hey, 98. I played with a guy for years at the Rangers that was brawler of a man, great player, didn't understand anything, barely
Yeah.
trained. I
Shout
just
out
feel like, hey, 85.
Shout out horse.
No, it wasn't all.
No,
Horse
knows
Like,
where he's going.
I'm not going to say the name, but I would literally line up and go 94.
Yeah.
And the defense would go, you just told me, like, I don't care. Like, have fun. You know he's coming now. Enjoy it. But there are guys that are just like that, and you've got to account for that. And I think, again, and credit to Clint Kubiak, what he's done with JSM, what he's done with Cooper Kupp the last couple of weeks, what he's done with what's his name? Shahid,
Raheed,
and then what he's done with guys like Bradford, putting them in position to be more successful. I think that's why this game's going to go their way on Seattle's offense versus Patriots defense. I think Darnold's going to be able to. They're going to have to commit so much to stopping that run, like what the 49ers did, that I think Darnold's going to be able to really, really hurt them on the back end.
And Darnold, like we spoke about the growth that Darnold's had in the last probably 6 weeks. He really hasn't had too many turnover plays.
He's also led the league in turnovers this year as well. Like you say that, but he's also led the league in turnovers.
He said the last 6 weeks. Though.
Yeah, I know, but
And
that's
playoffs. I think he's.
but that's also a thing.
I think he's been the best quarterback in the playoffs. Find someone who's played better than him. Maybe Stafford. Stafford didn't play that way against Carolina though. They almost
No.
lost to Carolina. He had
Yeah.
2 picks. So I'm saying he was very good.
Yeah, but
last
and
week.
Donald had an underwhelming game in the divisional round. He didn't do
Did
much.
he?
Underwhelming,
Yeah, he did.
underwhelming by
It's
what
underwhelming.
what he had to do.
What, did
but
you just
what
look
he
at the
had to
box?
do was perfect.
No,
Yeah. Did you just look at the box score?
You
And
can't be a guy, right?
no,
And
no.
hear me out here. You can't be a guy.
It was underwhelming. Although because they didn't throw the ball for a quarter and a half. All they did was run it. They didn't have to.
yeah, but when
they
he
didn't-
threw it, he
they
got.
purposely ran the shit out of the
I
ball so
know,
that
I
Darnold
know
wouldn't
what
have
you're
to throw.
saying, but
They made it so
Early-
that Darnold didn't have to throw.
early in the game,
How can you defend
Early-
that guy, Jalen Hurts, and defend Donald?
but
Sorry.
early in the game,
Because he doesn't lead the league in turnovers. That's why.
He doesn't do anything.
he's not allowed
Because
to
he
throw the
doesn't-
ball.
He did
Well,
3 years ago.
Donald wasn't allowed to throw the ball either, mate. He didn't
Hold
throw it for a quarter
Hold
and
on
a
a
half.
second though.
Hang on,
Hurts
can
had a season where he led the league in turnovers. He
When was that?
When they lost to Tampa Bay in the playoffs. He was fucking awful that year. He
Mate,
fumbled it a
that was 5 years ago.
No, that
bro.
was 3 years ago when they lost Tampa Bay.
And
It was
When
Last season, the
Darnold
one
against the
before.
Niners, the game was still, it was only a 10-point game. Darnold was still throwing for third downs on an absolute laser to keep them in position to score to put the game
Dude,
away.
they were 4-yard dump offs. They won 13.
weren't.
They won 13 to 3.
all
They
I'm
won 13 to
saying
3.
is-
No,
Relax.
that was the first game. That was week 18.
All
the
I'm
divisional
asking
game, they
you
won
is-
35 to.
how can you credit Jalen Hurts for doing stuff like that and discredit Darnold? That's what I'm asking you. If Jalen Hurts played a
Well,
game like that
I
against
could say the
San Fran,
same thing to you. How can you credit Donald and discredit Hurts? It's the same thing.
I discredit
It's the same
Hurts
thing in
because
reverse.
he doesn't actually
least-
throw the ball.
Yes, he does. He does throw the ball. He throws
We're
the
not
ball.
getting into-
over
Anyway,
the
we're not
top.
doing this. All I'm asking you is how can you? Why I can explain to you why I discredit Hurts. I've told you I don't think
We're
he's
not
a bad.
talking
I
about
don't think he's a
Jalen
bad
Hurts.
quarterback.
We
I
don't
just
need
don't
to-
think he's.
We're
a-
not here to talk
What
about
I'm
Jalen
asking you
Hurts.
is how can you discredit Darnold for being perfect the last 2 games and now
Well-
say that he's going to be shit and throw and
All I said.
what does he have to if he wins this game and throws for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns? Are you
He's still a
over?
hater.
Are you
Guaranteed.
going to hate him still?
Guaranteed.
No, what I'm saying is that he said that he's been. You guys have said that he's been near perfect for 6 weeks, and my retort to that is that he also has led the league in turnovers.
Yeah.
That is something to consider.
Mm.
It doesn't just like because we like him and because he had a good playoff game against the
Mike?
Rams. Like that doesn't just like dismiss that.
But
You
don't
can't
we, say
dismiss
that,
it.
don't we say that the playoffs is a separate start? And in the playoffs, he's been.
It is a separate start,
Perfect.
but he's still the same person. He still wants to fucking rip it, and he's still going to turn it over. And I guarantee he's going to turn it over
But
in
he,
this game.
but he ripped it last week and
Didn't turn the ball
ripped
over.
the Rams apart. Like he might turn the ball. If I was a betting man, I'd take him for an interception.
and the Patriots are a much better defense and a much better secondary
Yeah.
than the Rams anyway.
I wouldn't say much better.
Yeah, they are. They're way better.
Then
The Rams D line is one of the best in the league.
The Rams D line is a lot better than the Patriots. A lot better.
Way better. There's a chasm between them.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, that's
we'll
it.
see.
Yeah, that's it. The beauty of this game is
We'll see.
Anyway.
this would be the the word of the week should be, or the phrase of the week should be, we're going to find out.
We're going to find out.
Anyway, my initial point was that he hasn't turned the ball over in the last 6 weeks, and that's because Kubiak has put him in positions where he can see what the coverage of the defense is, and there's always an escape. And like we said last week, this is what my point was. Instead of ripping that ball into a throw that he will make 7 times out of 10, he's now just pulled it back and he's either dumped it off straight away or he's eaten a sack.
Or take a sack, yeah.
And I think that growth there is going to be the biggest difference in this game, because I don't think he will get in a position where he would throw the ball away, and you're not going to see a 4-pick game like he was against the Rams when he was trying to.
If he throws 2 picks, I think they'll win this anyway. I don't.
Yeah, I think that
when the pressure's on, it's Super Bowl, the whole world's watching.
Well, the pressure's on Drake May. He also was second in the league for turnovers, which you have clearly forgotten to mention.
And he might win the MVP though.
He won't win the MVP.
He might.
But anyway,
He might.
He's in contention.
He might.
He will either win it or be second.
Yeah,
in fairness,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good against Tin Cans. Anyway, let's talk about like the whole holistic view now of both teams. We've talked about them all. Let's talk about like Patriots versus Seattle. I think Seattle are so much more talented than this Patriots team. And Patriots fans, hold with me, don't turn off. This is going to turn in your favor, I promise.
They're not turning off. They're getting ready to yell at the screen, mate.
I think Seattle in almost every area are better. The only position I would say where they've probably been better this year is quarterback, because Drake May is going to be second in the MVP.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, Drake May has been awful, in my opinion, and Darnold's been outstanding. So that kind of levels it out, right? But the more time I spend thinking and going through this game, and my gut, it just starts telling me that it's not as big a gap as what it's going to, like Super Bowls are, they're made to be close, right? That's how they design the league. And I think that if you just go in your mind, say they're going to come and win this 50-0, they're so much more talented. It's going to be a bloodbath. It might be, it was last year, but
that's a massive outlier. Last year's blowout is not normal.
100%. And I think if you just think they're going to come in, score 21 points in the first quarter, shut out, turn over May twice, and the game's over, they'll run it out. It'll be all over.
That's not going to happen.
I don't think that's how it's going to happen, because I think Vrabel's a vet. You've got Vrabel's won Super Bowl. He's won 3 with the Patriots. He's turned around the Titans, who were dog shit as well. He's a well-respected guy. He runs a great scheme. McDaniels, as much as I dislike him, the old snake, he knows how to win in big games.
He's one of the most successful offensive coordinators in the history of the league.
Correct. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
so his
resume stacks up against anybody.
So there is a leveling out thing. There's been a leveling out in my mind.
He hasn't been good without Tom Brady, though.
I'll
asterisk that.
I agree.
You can.
You could also asterisk Bill Belichick and say he hasn't been good without Tom Brady, because that's 100% factual as well.
Yeah.
But I just think that it's bringing it in my mind back to more of a leveling playoff field. Now, we'll get to my predictions later. I'm predicting Seattle, and we'll give the score at the end. But I just think it's going to be a closer game than we think. I think the first half is going to be a real slog. It's going to be both teams feeling it out. And then I think the talent of Seattle will take over in that second half, and they'll be able to get a 10-point lead and then put some pressure on May to try and score. And then that's where the mistakes will happen. But if it goes the other way and the Patriots are able to somehow build a 10-point lead and then put all the pressure back on Darnold, it could easily flip the other way, and then they could be chasing their tail, and that's when the turnovers come, right? Turnovers come not only with pressure from a defense, but pressure from the game.
Pressure of the moment. Absolutely.
Yeah. Pressure. Yeah. When the pressure dials up and you're 10 points down in the Super Bowl.
Pressure of the game.
And you're Darnold and May, and you're like, I'm 23 years old and I'm playing in a Super Bowl, and Darnold's like, fuck, I played for the Jets. I was awful. The Patriots owned me for years. That's the stuff that can start going in your mind. And this is where, yes, you can look at it on paper. You can look at these. You can look at Darnold's been great. May hasn't been. They are all human beings. And the impact of the moment is what we can't predict. And that's why I think this game is, in my mind, coming back to more of a level playing field, because we just don't know the personal impact any player is going to feel in this moment.
Sorry, Scott. The machinations, because I'm going to agree with him and you can push back. The machinations of how we're going to get there, we don't agree on, but the end result, we 100% agree on. It's going to be very even. Pats will muddy up the game, because if it's just like, we're just going to go one-on-one, best on best, and you just beat us,
it's over.
It's not. That's not how it's going to play out, because the Pats know, and Vrabel knows, that he can't win. There's no path to victory that way. He's going to muddy the game up. He's going to try and create mismatches, and it will be a close game. Be a defensive battle, very close.
I think both these coaches are so good
that's fair too.
That they'll take that big game stigma out of the game.
Yeah.
And I think that because they're both just like like really relaxed, like team culture guys, essentially. That it would just be like, hey, we'll just do our thing. We'll worry about our thing, and there wouldn't be that Super Bowl buzz in the building all the time. Like once they warm up, they just do such a good job of that. And I think if that does happen, then the talent of Seattle will just outshine.
Yeah.
How much of that though is what am I trying to say?
I don't know. You're saying.
Vrabel, yeah, thank you. Vrabel's been there before a lot and won there a lot, and McDonald hasn't.
He won as a player. Like, he won over
something though.
In fairness, he won over 15 years ago.
Yeah, okay, but that's something.
It's a long time ago. But
It's something.
Yeah, it is. It's something. McDaniel's has been there.
McDaniel's been there a lot as well.
McDaniel's also lost to the Giants twice.
Yeah, he did.
Where his offense was deplorable in those games. Like,
but nobody on that Seattle coaching staff has been anywhere near it.
No, that's fair.
I think also what I think all of you have been.
I'm asking, is that something?
No, 2 of the offensive line coaches have been there.
I think what all of you have been saying the same sort of thing, but just in different ways. I think it depends on whichever coach prepares their team for the situation best when it comes. Doesn't matter how talented you are on the biggest stage. Whoever prepares their team better for the moment when it happens, we don't know what that moment's going to be.
Yeah,
they're the team that are going to be better suited to handle that moment. It
well said, Tommy.
Could be a tip ball, could be a drop punt, could be anything. But if the team that makes the mistake doesn't handle the mistake, they're gone.
Yeah, that's fair. That's how I think the margins are just becoming thinner in this game. Now, would it shock me if Seattle go and win this 41-6? No. Would it shock me if the Patriots did? Absolutely. If the Patriots won this like by 30 points, I would be flabbergasted.
I think anyone. I think everyone.
I'd be shocked.
I know that obviously I'm a Seattle fan. I really can't see that happening. But if that happened, that would be.
It would be one of the biggest upsets of a Super Bowl.
That'd be the wildest outcome possible.
Biggest upset in sports history.
Yeah, it'd be wild to me.
Like,
now I think
it's a 5-point favorite. Like that is a huge line for a Super Bowl.
Yep, that's fair. And a lot of that's from the
Patriots
last couple of games with the deficiencies of the other teams. I'm not saying that's the reason, but it's a fact, right? The other teams were very. If Bo Nix plays against Denver with Denver, they probably win. It's maybe over by halftime.
Seattle had to face they've faced like 6 playoff teams leading into the playoffs, so they come in tested.
Yeah, they've played, and I think that the Seattle and the Rams were the 2 best teams in the NFL, and I've always said that whoever wins out of those 2 are going to win the Super Bowl, and I stand by that. But before we do our predictions and our score lines, even though it's pretty obvious who we're all going to go with, but want to go score lines, and then we'll do MVP as well. I want to do some fun stuff.
Oh,
let's go through a few things.
I like having fun. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Everyone in the room's like,
That's all right, let's start with some betting predictions. Let's go with first touchdown scorer. What's everyone got? I will start with me. I've got Cooper Kupp. I think he's going to play really well in this game. I think he's going to be the first touchdown. I think he's going to set the tone for the Seattle early because he's had big games in Super Bowl before.
He has. Super Bowl MVP.
I have Cooper Kupp for any time, but I actually have JSN for first.
That's fair too.
I had Drake May as first touchdown scorer with his legs.
Finally, I had anytime touchdown scorer as Drake May rushing a touchdown.
Yeah, you both had it for the same reason.
Yeah, I think the value's there as well for the bet because I think was it like
$1.60 or something? I don't know.
I thought it was like $2.40 odds.
Oh, okay.
And part of the reason I put it there is because Drake May's legs are going to have a huge impact on this game.
They will need to, I think.
That's like the
positively or negatively.
Yeah, like if for him to play well and for the Patriots to have a path to victory, he needs to use his legs a lot.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think if you are betting, I said it before the show. I think whoever gets the ball first is going to put points on the board. I don't know what way. I think they're going to be that prepared and with short fields now.
True.
Both teams are going to get within range with their quarterback scheming properly. Some points are going to get put up on the board, no matter who gets the ball.
I don't think first. I think both teams will be trying to feel it out. Will be really nervous. Typically in Super Bowls, you don't score early.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I hope neither team does that. I actually hope that if either team wants to win this game, what I think they have to do is come out first drive and go
grab it by the scruff of the
balls
neck,
to the fucking wall.
I think New England definitely needs to do that, but I don't think Seattle has to do that.
Especially
going to apply the
with
pressure.
Seattle's kicker as well. Like they've got
Shahid can just take it from the house.
Correct.
The game could be over in 13 seconds. Ask 49ers.
Take it easy. It's not going to be over in 13 seconds. God, put your stiffy away for God's sake.
Hey, let him enjoy it, all right? We mildly let you enjoy the Eagles.
No, you didn't.
You forced it down our throat and you benched more, so we had to leave.
Yeah, that's
And
right. And it also was 40-6. Like, what?
No,
else
I
do you
meant
want?
leading up to it.
It could be 40-6 again.
Nah, dude.
Good.
It wouldn't surprise me. It honestly would not surprise me. All right, we did our. Who was your anytime scorer? Or you had?
I had
Cup
Cup anytime and
scorer.
Jason first.
What are we over under? It's 45.5. You're going the under. You said before.
Under for sure.
Yeah, I've got the under too.
I'm taking the over, and we'll know my scoreline soon. It'll be just over. It's be very close.
Just under, yeah.
It'll be. It's a good margin. Bold predictions. Non-quarterback MVP predictions. So obviously we know that the team that normally wins, the quarterback will win MVP. That's just how it naturally goes. So the non-quarterback MVP.
Wait, have you
for a
got
team.
bold prediction or have you got non-quarterback MVP?
No, so yeah, this is a
Because
bold
it's two-
prediction for.
bold prediction, non-quarterback?
Oh,
MVP.
I gave a bold prediction.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
got both.
I might have got that wrong.
Yeah.
My bold prediction was great though, and I'll read it later.
Yeah, that's why I asked you later because you're the only one that didn't have one.
It was like,
So what's your bold prediction?
my
Go.
bold prediction is non-quarterback MVP. Oh, my bold prediction. You want it now?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want it.
All right,
I want it, baby.
Because I
Get
wrote
it
it.
up for me.
I
man.
wrote
While
it.
you're getting it up, I have Seattle's
Stop taking
defense.
me long.
Play your past self, JA, over the voice note you sent me.
Oh, yeah, do you want me to play it?
Yeah, after these two,
Yeah,
go
you
for
go.
it.
So
Yeah.
I have Seattle's defense force 3 turnovers as a bold prediction.
I like that.
I've got Donald melts down in front of the whole world.
you just want that.
You do want it. Just admit it. You want it.
No, I'm predicting it. What does that mean?
You want it.
Yeah, you want it. That's
Well,
fine.
I mean,
We'll move on.
any prediction, there's always a sense of wanting it to happen. when you
Just
predict
say
it.
you want it.
Just say
Why would you predict it if you don't think it's going to happen? Doesn't
Okay.
make sense, Scott.
Here's my bold prediction. My bold prediction is that the NFL will rig this piece of shit Patriots team like they've rigged the entire playoffs because Patriots being on top is dollars in their pocket. Oh, sorry, it's still going. Every decision will go their way. Every 50-50 call will go their way. Every first down just a little bit short will get overturned. Every first down where they didn't get enough will go their way. They'll get fucking everything and they'll win.
That's a very fair point. You're
That's
right.
my prediction.
Because
What's the NFL want, man? They want
the
Pats to
NFL
win.
want the Pats to win because they
Not
want
even at me. They want them to win.
they want Drake May to be the next poster boy of the NFL. There's no, he's young, he's handsome, he's tall, white, he's a gunslinger. He's he's got a beautiful young wife. He's got a clean cut image. Like
He's well liked.
he's
Like,
well liked everywhere.
People like him.
Yeah, people
I
like him.
Like,
The
he's a
media likes
likable
him.
guy.
And yeah, like he's the perfect transitional guy, next guy to have. And I said it before, no one gives a fuck about the Seahawks. Like they're a nothing franchise. Like, yeah, all right, they're a good team, and the Seattle Nuffies like them, but the greater NFL landscape, no one cares about the Seahawks really. Like no one feels one way or another about them. They're just like a milquetoast kind of team.
No,
You know what I'm trying to say?
I want them to win for that reason because I'm like, I kind of just want like,
Right. Okay. That's
I want
that's
like an
different.
off-market team.
Right, but
that's
that
not
that
one
almost-
of the big teams of the league. to
that
actually
almost
win.
validates what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I don't agree they're irrelevant. I think
No, I said they're like a milquetoast team. Like people don't
in
feel one way
comparison
or
to the
another about them.
Patriots,
Yeah.
if you went to anywhere in the world and went, you know who the New England Patriots are, they'd be like, absolutely. A guy on site today said, "Are you going to the Super Bowl?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to watch." He goes, "Oh, it's Patriots versus what the Bird Hawks or something."
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
It's the
And almost
Seahawks.
always, anyone that knows anything about football, when you mention the Patriots, they've always got some strong opinion one way or
It's
another.
like I heard this week in Africa, they're looking forward to the Broncos playing the Rams.
Yeah, because they're getting the
getting the merch
t-shirts that
whoever
they didn't
wins.
get. Which is fantastic,
That's
Tommy.
actually very funny. All right. Did you do
non-quarterback.
Non-quarterback
MVP.
MVP. I've got JSN.
I got Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
I think he's done it before. He's had big games in a Super Bowl. He was a big reason why they won that Super Bowl. I think the way he played against Rams last week, although the volume wasn't through the roof, his impact was through the roof.
Yeah, it was
He
huge.
played very, very well in big moments, big third down moments. And I think he could do that again.
I went someone a little bit left of field, just to do
hit me with it.
something different because he's probably going to have multiple picks in this game. I went with Christian Gonzalez.
Yeah, hey, if Christian Gonzalez gets a couple of picks and it's a low scoring game, he could be an MVP for sure. All right.
Speaking of Cooper Cup, do you want to just jump straight into like the legacy of the game? What could be not that there's Hall of Fame machinations, but just like what a win would mean for each team going forward into the next few seasons.
Yeah. Okay. So what you want us to do the legacy of the teams?
Yeah. So
Oh, I thought it was legacy of the play.
Same. I went with players.
Yeah, that was sort of but at the same time, you all said the same thing that there's not any players that have sort of like, if they get a win here, they're going to get into the Hall of Fame because they're pretty both young
I'll lead
teams.
off. I'll give you my legacy first. So for the Seahawks, I went with Sam Darnold, and I said that if he wins and plays well,
Shuts everyone.
it
up
will
forever.
complete. It will complete. It'll be the greatest comeback of all time to go from the cellar, the dregs of the Jets to Super Bowl champion. And let's face it, if he plays well and wins, he's going to win Super Bowl MVP.
Most likely.
Yeah. To go from that to that in that short amount of time, it's basically almost unheard of in the NFL. Once you're sort of like off a team and then you're like on the scrap heap of another scrap heap of another team, to then get picked up by third or I think fourth team. I think this is his fourth team, isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause he went to the Niners.
Jets, Panthers,
49ers,
Vikings,
Vikings.
Seahawks.
15.
Yeah. Now, in fairness, he was very good on the Vikings.
Yeah,
but
so
the rest he was a
to
backup.
win it,
or
to win a
struggled.
to go from a cast off to Super Bowl MVP on your fifth team in one career, that's basically unheard of.
It is unheard of.
It'll be the greatest comeback of all time. In terms of, I think so anyway.
I think I saw today there was only one other quarterback that's ever played for 5 teams before he made a Super Bowl, and it was the Atlanta Falcons quarterback from when Elway won his Super Bowl. I think it was Chalmers or something like that.
Oh, so he was on the Broncos as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the only
Okay.
quarterback to ever make a Super Bowl after being on 5 different teams.
Right.
On his
So-
5th team.
So that
essentially.
it's unheard. And for
and he
the
was a bit of a he wasn't playing.
He was a
was
backup.
just a
Yeah.
kind of a veteran,
Just a dude.
Yeah.
like game manager sort of guy.
so and the obvious one I had for the Patriots was I had Drake May, and I said that it like winning a Super Bowl, and probably again if he wins and plays well, he'll be the MVP.
Yep.
A Super Bowl MVP in your second year automatically elevates you into that elite stratosphere.
youngest quarterback to ever win it.
Yeah,
as well.
youngest. He'll be the youngest ever to win it, and that automatically, whether take and again. In 5 years' time, no one's going to remember the schedule. No one's going to remember the Tinassi calls. They're just going to remember youngest quarterback ever, Super Bowl MVP. And, in my opinion, win, lose, or draw, whatever happens in 3 years' time, we're going to be talking about Drake May like he's the next Josh Allen anyway, in
I
my
think
opinion.
that I had that for quarterbacks as well. I think Drake May can set his legacy and start the Brady comparisons.
Yeah.
Because he's essentially going to do what Brady did,
Yeah.
but play at a higher level. But it's very unfair to compare that era of football to this era of football with the way quarterbacks play.
And they're different players.
Yeah.
The way they play
Yeah.
is completely
I
different.
think he starts
anyway.
and I had the same thing about Darnold because actually what I wrote, I'll read it. I'll quote: Darnold ultimately shuts up all the haters like George.
That's fine. No, you'll never shut me up, but that's fine.
No, but it could, maybe.
It won't.
Scotty,
No, just the same thing.
same
It's
thing.
pretty
Can
straightforward.
I do what it means for each coach? Because I want to start on Vrabel because I think Vrabel's got a massive part. Vrabel turning the Pats around while also being an ex-player will make him the king of New England. It's similar to the May and Brady things. This will start we've got the next big coach. This is the next Belichick. This is the next guy.
Oh, not yet. Belichick.
But it starts it. That's what I'm saying. What it means for his legacy is it starts it, and it starts it very early in his coaching career for the New England Patriots.
And just to piggyback off that, I sort of went a little bit left of that. I think it's for the Patriots as well. Everything you said, I agree with, by the way. It vindicates the firing of Mayo and that aggressive, like, no, he's clearly not our guy. We've got to get rid of him, and we've got to get another guy in.
Yeah, that's fair.
And as I've said before many times, good teams stay good because they've got good ownership that are willing to make the tough call, make it early, and like just rip the Band-Aid off and just do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
I had George brought it up pre-show, but I had it. Vrabel will be the first coach ever to play in a Super Bowl and coach and win a Super Bowl as a coach for the same team.
It's insane.
That's a cool stat.
Had been done before for a coach to coach a different team. And then Mike McDonald would just be the new whiz kid, like Sean McVay. He'll just be like the young coach, early Super Bowl. He'll just be instantly at that best coach status. Like,
And the legacy of him as a defensive-minded coach is, as a Seattle coach, we're going to instantly start getting comparisons to the Legion of Boom. Simple as that. Not that I think this defense is at that level yet, but the Legion of Boom started somewhere, and these guys are starting somewhere too. And it's you talk about the dominance from numbers and field and wins. It's a very similar comparison. So if he's able
This
to win
seems
that Super Bowl,
better.
it's actually statistically better than
Yeah.
Legion of Boom. So I think that
I
could
also
be
saw a
impact.
great stat with what you were just saying about the Legion of Boom. This is also going to be a big changing of the guard because both of these teams were coached by really old coaches. Like they went from Pete Carroll and they went from Belichick.
Yep.
I know a few years apart and stuff, but it's sort of the changing of the guard that the young coaches with the completely new way of playing is like this is what the NFL is going to be.
And young defensive
going into the
coaches as
future.
well.
Yeah.
It's not that offensive-minded coach, just like getting rammed down everyone's throat
Yeah,
anymore.
the old
There's been a
crony
shift.
on the side who's angry, like it's the positive, it's the youth, like it's the
True.
new NFL coming
Ask
through.
that to the Ravens and Steelers. That's probably why they got new coaches this year.
Correct.
Imagine if the Titans kept Vrabel and the Ravens fired Harbrow and kept McDonald.
How do you fire Harbrough? You made an
I know.
AFC championship game.
I know, but I'm saying in hindsight that was the right move.
Well, in hindsight, I've got the lotto numbers, bro. Like,
Do you really? Can I
no,
have them?
no,
Yeah.
I don't.
All right. What I for Hall of Fame? Sorry, does anyone on either team's resume bump into Hall of Fame category? I said the quarterbacks are too young, and really Super Bowl wins seem to only really matter to quarterbacks when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
No one, unless you've won like 5, like Charles Haley, no one goes, oh well, DeMarcus Lawrence won 2 Super Bowls. He's in the Hall of Fame now. Everyone else is held to like a statistical and performance thing, and then if you're a Super Bowl winner, you just elevate it into Hall of Fame.
I had Cooper Cup because you'll have Triple Crown, Super Bowl MVP, Super Bowl, and 2 Super Bowl wins.
That's
Super
fair
Bowl
too.
wins
Yep.
as a receiver. Will probably. I'm not saying first ballot, but
No, that's
I'm
fair.
saying that resume there will, out of everyone playing, would be the only one that would be.
Well, to have the Hall, to actually be eligible to the Hall of Fame as a player, you have to have won a Super Bowl, an MVP in a Super Bowl,
That's not true.
or a
Dan
season,
Marino's in it.
an All Pro. You have to have won like a big award for them to
Yeah.
consider you. So All Pro, MVP, all those things.
Yeah.
That would give Cooper Cup Triple Crown, which is one of the awards.
Yep.
All 3 of them are one. Then he would
Yeah,
have
true,
Super Bowl
yeah.
MVP, which is 1. 2 Super Bowl championships, which is
Yeah.
another 2.
Yep.
And he was Offensive Player of the Year 1 year as well. So it would be another one.
Is there many Super Bowl MVPs also that aren't in the Hall of Fame that are eligible, apart from
there's
Eli Manning? But
Heaps.
There's plenty. Dexter
Yeah.
Jackson from
the
the Bucks.
quarterbacks as well.
Malcolm Smith. He's not
Yeah,
running
Malcolm
into the
Smith,
Hall of Fame
yeah.
anytime soon for Seattle.
No.
He might be in the Seattle Hall of Honor or
No,
whatever
he's
they
not.
call it. Okay. What about one absolute lock that's going to happen for each team?
I've got 2 here.
Yep.
I've got Drake May over rushing. I think he would just have to by necessity. We've touched on it. And I also have JSN over receptions. I think he's just going to be open. And
It's
like,
a good game, yeah.
like you guys have said, that the Patriots are going to do everything in their power to shut down the run. And Darnold's just going to dice up the coverage.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because the Patriots have, outside of Gonzalez, they have 3 guys that could be susceptible to big plays.
Very susceptible. Yep, I would say. George, you got any things that are going to happen?
Oh, you already know what I'm going to say.
Is it
His is
Darnold?
the same for
Darnold 7
Donald to
picks.
throw multiple interceptions.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My one for the Patriots, for the record, is that they'll get a big call to go their way, but we've already heard my voice note. For the Seahawks, I think something that's definitely going to happen
Is that a bet? Can you bet on that? Sorry, just to interrupt. Can you bet on that? Is there a market for that? On the
I don't.
Patriots
you can bet
getting
on
a big
any.
call?
You can bet on every.
Yeah,
Because
okay. One of
I'd
those
be putting
weird-
the house on
You
that,
have to go
bro.
to some weird betting site, but then it's very subjective.
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
what counts as a call
Well,
that goes your way.
uh,
I'm obviously going to think that any call that goes their way is a big call because I'm going to be throwing glasses at everyone who's a Patriots fan. No, I obviously that's a joke.
Can I go on to my spicy
Yeah,
moment?
give me a spicy moment.
I have Stephon Diggs throws a punch at the teammate.
That's
It's actually believable too.
Like if he gets blanketed and they start getting blown out, he's on the sideline lipping off, and then he just fucking starts swinging. Like, no, like you tell me it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I think the
It's not
chance
out
of
of the
the
realm of
rat,
possibility.
if you had to round that to a whole number, that number would be 0.
100.
That number's 0.
I had right guard Bradford will go the wrong way on a block and kill Sam Darnold, thinking it's a DB.
And that's all the. You know what? Against it, this Patriots with what's happened with them, like
The right guard has just knocked out Sam Darnold going the wrong way on a block.
decapitated him. Drew Lock warm up.
So I for my spicy moment, I went something again. I like to go a little bit left to center just to.
We know that about
Just
you.
to spice
It's the Persian blood.
That's okay. It's
First?
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said that Bad Bunny to make a political statement with his halftime show.
Oh, shock. You already
Yeah.
made one, didn't you? The Oscars.
Yeah, so I think he'll continue
The
to-
Oscars.
What was it?
The Grammys, Malaka.
Yeah, no one cares about the Grammys. Can I say,
Well, the people that
just,
win the-
just
win
on
the
Bad
Grammys.
Bunny, one of Tom's questions was, how will the halftime show go? And I said, terrible. I don't speak Spanish back to Raxa, Ron Burgundy. 'Cause he only sings in Spanish.
Correct. He only
I don't
sings it.
understand anything.
He throws in the occasion, like I'm on record saying I like Bad Bunny and I'm really looking forward to the show. But yeah, he only sings in Spanish. He throws in the occasional
Bring back
English
Janet
word.
Jackson, man.
Yeah, I would love to see some titties
I
in
wrote
the Super
that.
Bowl.
I wrote
Jules, we're in.
that. Wow. Remember that? That was crazy, wasn't it, with Timberlake? That
Wild.
was crazy.
2004, that was.
That stopped the world.
That was Pat's Eagles, wasn't it?
I think it was, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the Pats ones.
I have, and this was before they had the what awards was it? Oscars,
Grammys,
Emmys?
Grammys.
Who gives a fuck? I had that he would get booed, but now he's definitely going to get booed.
Yeah, I think you might get booed.
No, I mean he'll be. I wrote polarizing is the word I would use because people that are there and people that are watching are either going to really enjoy it or they're really going to hate it.
Don't boo him. Like, just let him perform and give him.
I've seen that he might be wearing it.
Take the political shit out of it, and I hope he doesn't bring that up.
I'm certain he will.
Yeah,
he will.
If he does that, he should. If he does that, they should actually go, "Hey, get off."
Apparently, Green Day, not Green Day.
I know they won't do it, but they should. If he comes up and starts being political, be like, "Hey, dude, get off."
They'll have camera angles locked and loaded for if anything
I
comes
might
up.
have snipers locked and loaded if he starts getting too lippy.
Yeah, if Trump's going to be, who knows in America at the moment. Let's go to some Super Bowl extra bets. We'll rapid fire these. Gatorade color,
Blue,
green.
I said blue. National anthem over under.
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 I
Who
went over.
cares?
It's Charlie Puth singing.
Charlie Puth.
He's a brilliant performer.
Loves to hold a note.
He'll
loves to hold a
really
note.
good. He's actually a really good singer.
He'll
He
be
is.
playing the piano overs all way.
Yeah, 100% over. Who will have the best commercial?
M&M's.
I said Doritos.
I don't know.
Yeah,
who's-
I would-
I've already
who's
seen the
been
best
in
commercial, and it's X Infinity.
Is that going to play out the Super Bowl as well?
It's already the Super Bowl commercial. I'll show you boys after.
Oh,
It's a good
great,
one.
cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the big one. Let's wrap this bad boy up. Prediction and MVP, Scotty.
I have Darnold MVP, Seattle 31-10.
Okay, you.
I've got Pats 24, Seahawks 21.
Yep.
And Drake Mayer's MVP.
And in true JF fashion, I'm literally between you guys. I have Seattle winning 28-17. I think that the game, as I said before, Seahawks, it'll be close for the half, and then Seahawks talent will shine through, and it'll be kind of 28-10 with 4 minutes to go, and then they'll score a little touchdown.
Might get a cheeky late
Make
one.
them feel good about themselves. Patriots fans can tell me that there was a call that didn't go their way. That's why they lost.
They probably
by 10
got that touchdown on a call.
Yeah, and then my MVP will be Sam Darnold, because I truly believe that if you don't bet on the quarterback winning MVP for the team that you think is going to win it, you're crazy, because the outlier is just, it's so far, it just doesn't happen ever.
I mean, it does, but it's not.
It
Very
needs to
rare.
be like the quarterback did nothing and then another person stepped up to steal the game.
Yeah, like you look at the two that I can remember was Dexter Jackson for the Bucks in 2004, where
Cooper Cup.
I think he had two interceptions and a fumble and one for a touchdown, and they won by a mile. So it was like you could give it to anyone. He had a great game. Cooper Cup, he was phenomenal in that game, but they could have easily given that to Stafford too.
They could have,
I think it was the right call.
Von Miller as well.
Von Miller, yeah.
Von Miller, who
Beckham.
changed the game with a couple of plays.
But he had a huge game. He was so
He was
good, though.
unreal.
That was like
Yeah.
in his prime. That was prime Von Miller. Too.
Yeah, he was very good. And then the other guy was Malcolm Smith in the
Yeah, he was
Seattle blowout over
Denver.
So
Yeah.
I can't really think. There's probably more, but safe bet is you go with
The safe bet
quarterback
is the quarterback
of the
for
team
sure.
that wins. If they play good, they're going to get it.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I think if they just don't play terribly, they'll get it.
That's right.
basically.
Yeah, you're right. If they
Yeah.
just play, if they're average and your team wins, you're going to get it. Yeah. And also, like, you could play terribly, and if you get a game-winning drive at the end to win it, you'll get it.
Yeah,
Because
probably.
that's what Mahomes did against the Niners a couple of years ago. He
Yeah.
wasn't great for the whole
No,
game.
he wasn't good.
But overtime came, they kicked a field goal, and he was like, I'm not only winning this, but I'm winning MVP.
Yeah.
That whole MVP was decided on that final drive.
Was that the game where he said, we're going to get
He
the
laughed
ball
at
and
him.
score it,
Yeah.
shove it down your throat? Is that game?
No, that was Matt Hasselbeck in a championship game where he said, we're going to
Against
get the
Green Bay.
ball and we're going to score, and then threw a pick six on the first play
Yeah.
to Al Harris.
Yeah.
One of the funniest moments.
Oh, and we forgot Julian Edelman. He also won Super Bowl MVP in 2019.
Oh,
He
yeah.
threw that catch. That was unreal.
Good catch.
Yeah. All right. That is it for us. Guys, there'll be some clips going out. Get on to Sporting Globe, Trenside Park. Buy yourself a ticket. Get down there. Support us. Change in your app. If you're at any Sporting Globe, change it to the Vault Studio NFL podcast. So, you know, what you spend goes towards helping our sponsorship. It will go a long way to help us. We've got some plans. We want to upgrade some stuff for the next season. We will do a show after the Super Bowl. Obviously, then there's some stuff that's going to change, but you know, we will not be taking
But
any time
also
off for the off season.
subscribe. We're not stopping up in the
No,
off
no.
season.
Well,
We don't
right.
stop. So
We don't stop. We love football way too much. I'm going to be depressed for the first few weeks. Just started
2 weeks. I'm grinding on draft stuff. So
Yeah, it's like the NFL doesn't sleep. So stay on board. Give us a subscribe. Follow us on our social medias: Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Especially YouTube. Can you please help us? We're trying to reach a goal. So if you listen to this, go and give us a follow. It's really going to help us get where we want to get. Sporting Lunch Park. Thank you very much, boys. Monday, it's it. Season's over.
I'm looking forward to it. It's
I
good.
can't wait. Super Bowl's the best day of the year.
It's not a sad moment. It's a happy moment. It's the whole point of the season.
Are those happy tears or sad tears?
Both.
All right, Scotty,
Ciao.
go Seahawks.